Now the real work begins on what have we done. And I think there's an extraordinary amount of science that not only needs to be done, but is going to be done on what's in the water and how is it affecting the animals. And it's going to be years before we really have a clear understanding of the big picture.
You have animals that are going to be just exposed to the chemicals in the water, and then you also have tar balls that are probably settling out on the bottom, and animals that may actually even be ingesting those tar balls.
This could be the final blow for some creatures that were already right on the line, like bluefin tuna. The spill took place right in the midst of the only Western Atlantic breeding area that is known, and during the time when they are breeding.
The death toll will be very high, but it will be hard to enumerate because a lot of these animals will be dying where we don't see them.
This took out a lot of turtles. What is the minimum number of turtles that it takes, the sea turtles, to make more turtles? There's a point of no return. We don't know what that is, but we're precariously close even before the spill.
There's a sperm whale population that lives in the northern part of the Gulf of Mexico, and I think the numbers in 2007 were something like 1,660 some odd whales that were known to be in that group. Now how many will there be? Will we see a decrease in those?
People are planning right now to move hundreds of turtle nests from around the Gulf to the east side of Florida. They're trying to evacuate turtles.
There's been a lot of controversy about the right thing to do on many levels, and one of these came up with the sea turtle relocation. I suspect that it was probably the right thing to do, especially things like the Kemp's Ridley sea turtles that are so endangered. They took the eggs and moved the eggs, but from the experts I've talked to, it's akin to trying to move nitroglycerin. If you just jostle them the tiniest little bit, you're going to kill them. It's the kind of situation that we face in a disaster like this when we actually don't have enough information to know what the right thing to do is.
I don't think we're going to know for many, many years, probably 25 to 30 years, what this relocation has done as far as to where the turtles will come back to nest. We don't know what it'll do to the population. We don't know if they'll go back to the Gulf, which actually has a lot of people in the Gulf upset about it, or will they go back to the other side of Florida. I think they did what they had to do, and time will tell what happens.
There will be some things that will hardly take a hit and other things that will potentially take a really serious hit, like the Kemp's Ridley sea turtle, most endangered sea turtle in the world. All the breeding adults and then all the juveniles have to cross this entire mess, and they're in harm's way. They're really in harm's way.
There probably are going to be species that simply never recover. There's a lot of animals that have already been stressed by environmental pollutants and overfishing and habitat destruction. And what you reach is something that's called a tipping point. And it's like somebody's pushing on a light switch and you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Well, that oil spill may have flicked it over into another stable state, one that no longer supports that organism. And so we may actually see extinctions as a result of this. We won't know for years to come.